A major theoretical issue is the relationship between productive slavery and the status of a society as a slave or a slave-owning society. In a slave society, slaves composed a significant portion, at least 20 to 30%, of the total population, and much of that society's energies were mobilized toward getting and keeping slaves. In addition, the institution of slavery had a significant impact on the society's institutions, such as the family, and on its social thought, law, and economy. It seems clear that it was quite possible for a slave society to exist without productive slavery. The known historical examples were concentrated in Africa and Asia. It is also clear that most of the slave societies have been concentrated in Western, including Greece and Rome, and Islamic civilizations. In a slave-owning society, slaves were present but in smaller numbers, and they were much less the focus of the society's energies. Western and Central European peasantry from the time of the decline of the Roman Empire until the era of the French Revolution. This included a second enserfment that swept over Central and some of Eastern Europe in the 15th and 16th centuries. Russia did not know the first enserfment. Serfdom began there gradually in the mid-15th century, was completed by 1649, and lasted until 1906. Whether the term serfdom appropriately describes the condition of the peasantry in other contexts is a matter of vigorous contention. Be that as it may, the serf was also distinguished from the slave by the fact that he was usually the subject of the law, i.e., he had some rights, whereas the slave, the object of the law, had significantly fewer rights. The serf, moreover, was usually bound to the land. The most significant exception was the Russian serf between about 1700 and 1861, whereas the slave was always bound to his owner, i.e., he had to live where his owner told him to, and he often could be sold by his owner at any time. The serf usually owned his means of production, grain, livestock, implements, except the land, whereas the slave owned nothing, often not even the clothes on his back. The serf's right to marry off his lord's estate often was restricted, but the master's interference in his reproductive and family life ordinarily was much less than was the case for the slave. Serfs could be called upon by the state to pay taxes, to perform corvée labor on roads, and to serve in the army, but slaves usually were exempt from all of those obligations. Thank you for your time today. Hope you enjoyed the video. Make sure you subscribe and leave like and comment.